Welcome back to the Kaspa Silver YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be doing an overview of Kasplex and covering the most important information regarding Kasplex and what we know about it so far. So originally, we have known about Kasplex for a few months now because we first heard about it when the Kaspa Foundation launched, and they had some projects that it looks like they will be behind. One of them will be helping smart contracts come onto Kaspa, and then this other thing that we did not know was coming, which is called Kasplex. And Kasplex is not the same thing as smart contracts. Kasplex is going to allow you to build KRC20 tokens using some type of inscriptions with the indexer, and it's something similar to Bitcoin ordinals, but not exactly the same because it's uniquely built for Kaspa so that it can actually handle the amount of adoption that this might acquire. So KRC20 is also not a token in and of itself. KRC20 is a protocol that will allow you to create tokens on the Kaspa network. So Kaspa Foundation looks like they are going to be helping bring Kasplex towards adoption, and Kaspa Foundation is backed by people like Ice River, OKX Venture, and CoinPow, and a few other people. So Kasplex is an independent project that is not related to the core Kaspa developers that are working on the Kaspa network. Kasplex is being built by other third-party people who are interested on bringing this to Kaspa. Kasplex also has their own Twitter account, which they had released a roadmap to let us know what's going to be coming out for Kasplex. And currently, they have released the closed beta. They published a white paper. They're still building the Kasplex community, and they're also going to release the open source indexer. Whereas in June, they're going to be having the official release. So in just about a few days, we're going to be seeing Kasplex be officially released, because right now it is in closed beta and going through testing. You could see here that they posted this saying, calling all developers, we're excited to announce that the Kasplex beta launch is just around the corner. This Friday, we're kicking off the closed beta, and we want you to be a part of it. Don't miss this opportunity to test and integrate Kasplex into your applications. So this was released last week, and the beta is now open. And if you want to be a part of this closed beta, you can join their Telegram to get more information. They also mention here that they are working with the Kaspa community to establish a Discord channel so that people that are on Discord can also join this Discord channel and talk Kasplex things. They also announced that Kasplex is now live on Kaspa Testnet 11, and they say get ready to test and integrate Kasplex into your applications on the lightning fast 10 blocks per second testnet. Don't miss this opportunity to be a part of the closed beta. Let the testing begin. They say to visit their website to find all the information and documentation you need to get started, and also reminding that this is just a beta phase, but you can also now test Kasplex on testnet 11, which you don't already know is the 10 blocks per second beta that is currently been running for few months now, testing 10 blocks per second, and this is a live visualizer of how fast 10 blocks per second is. But now you can test Kasplex on this. So they are going to be preparing for 10 blocks per second as well, but in the meantime, they're still gonna have Kasplex launch on 1 blocks per second. So there's been a couple of articles that have come out for Kasplex where people were asking questions, and there have been answers to it. You could see here, this is again confirming that Kasplex and Kaspa Foundation are entities independent of the Kaspa core project. And Kasplex is also a nonprofit organization that focuses on making it easy for developers, artists, and influencers to launch projects on Kaspa. Our project consists of 3 parts: protocol, the rules on how to insert data into the Kaspa blockchain. These rules are also used to implement KRC20, which are tokens, and KRC 721, which would be NFTs. So tokens and NFTs are going to be coming to Kaspa without smart contracts. You do not need smart contracts for these things to exist, because Kasplex has figured out a way to integrate these things using inscriptions on Kaspa. So an indexer is an open source project that scans every block and extracts the data inserted following the rules specified by the Kasplex protocol. This is basically going to be operated by Kasplex, but it is going to be open source. And APIs for users who do not run a full node, they can easily query their assets. So you do not even need to run a full node to be able to see your assets that are going to be on Kasplex. There's going to be APIs that will allow you to view your assets regardless. Here are some questions that I did want to highlight here. How will KRC20 tokens be stored within a user's wallet? They said that there is no need for additional support from the wallet. Users can query their KRC20 balance via Kasplex APIs, and wallet developers can also integrate in our APIs or deploy their own indexer to display KRC20 assets in their wallets. And there is actually a Chrome extension wallet for Kaspa that is going to be implementing the Kasplex API so that you can view your assets that you have on Kasplex, any tokens or NFTs on this extension wallet. This extension wallet is called Kasware, and I will be hopefully making a guide and tutorial video of Kasware this week, kind of reviewing how this wallet works. But this is like the first extension wallet to come out for Kaspa that basically has everything. I mean, you can even recover your seed phrase from the OneKey wallet, the Tangent wallet. You can recover your seed phrase from pretty much any wallet that exists for Kaspa. And there's a dedicated team that's actually working on Kasware. And this has been out for a few months now, but I will be doing a review video explaining to you guys how you can use the Kasware wallet. And then eventually they will integrate the options to view your assets that are going to be on Kasplex. Kasplex also released their white paper, and I'm going to leave a link to this so you can do a bigger deep dive into this yourself, but I'm just going to kind of highlight the main things that are on this website because it does cover a lot of things about Kasplex. So first off, what is Kasplex? Kasplex is a comprehensive solution that incorporates a data insertion protocol and open source indexer, data availability mechanisms, and robust APIs. It leverages Kaspa's high block rate, scalability, and decentralized proof of work layer 1 to facilitate efficient data insertion, address the UTXO bloat issue, and support a sustainable ecosystem. Additionally, the Kasplex protocol sets standards for creating KRC20 tokens and NFTs on the Kaspa network, fostering the development of diverse ecosystem and decentralization of applications. So why choose Kasplex? The primary principle guiding the protocol's design is to avoid imposing negative effects on Kaspa. Unlike certain protocols that contribute to the UTXO bloat issue in Bitcoin, Kasplex provides a straightforward approach to data insertion, supplemented by an open source indexer and a suite of APIs, enabling seamless interaction with the protocol. By adapting Kasplex, developers, artists, and influencers can leverage the Kaspa network to create, manage, and transfer digital assets efficiently and securely, promoting innovation and growth within the Kaspa network. So the key features that Kasplex are going to have are a data insertion mechanism, a KRC20 token standard, NFT support, a layer 2 infrastructure, open source indexers and APIs, and a gas fee mechanism. This is going to sustain the Kasplex ecosystem. The protocol includes a gas fee mechanism, and additional gas fee is required when deploying or minting KRC20 tokens, which is paid to the miners. So benefits to the Kaspa ecosystem. This will increase adoption. This will start the layer 2 infrastructure and have a seamless integration. So it's basically Kasplex is trying to be the foundation to build on the Kaspa network, which is highly necessary for future adoption of Kaspa, because obviously miners need to be paid in the future by fees, and there needs to be a way for more things to be built on the Kaspa network so that more transactions can come in and that more fees are created so that miners can get paid. I wanted to highlight that to deploy a KRC20 token, the transaction fee or gas fee paid should not be less than 1,000 Kaspa. And this 1,000 Kaspa is going to be paid to miners. So anytime someone creates a KRC20 token and they want to deploy on the network, it's going to be at least 1,000 Kaspa. And there's thousands of tokens that get created on like Solana or Ethereum. And I imagine that many people are going to be wanting to build KRC20 tokens on Kaspa itself. There have already been Twitter accounts that have been made for new KRC20 tokens, which I'm not going to talk about on this channel, most likely. But nonetheless, these people have to pay that 1,000 Kaspa to deploy it on the Kaspa network, and this will go to miners. So this is really going to be helping the adoption for Kaspa and to keep the security budget alive, even though every single month the emissions are falling. To mint KRC20 tokens, it's gonna be nothing less than 1 Kaspa. And then if you want to transfer KRC20 tokens, you don't have to have any additional fees. It's basically going to just be the normal network fees, which are practically zero at the moment. They also mentioned here that you're going to be able to trade your KRC20 tokens directly back into Kaspa. It says with the support for partially signed Kaspa transactions, it becomes possible to swap KRC20 tokens for Kaspa's native cryptocurrency Cas. You can get more information by reading this, and this is a GitHub, and it looks like Aspect is behind this, which is one of the developers for Kaspa NG. But it looks like there's a really in-depth description here of how you're going to be able to swap your tokens directly back into Kaspa, and it's not going to be like a wrapped version or anything like that. It's going to be the native cryptocurrency Kaspa. So really interesting to see that that's going to be possible. And another thing that was pointed out here is a tick reserve list. It says reserve list for future purposes. There are certain tick names that cannot currently be deployed. And some of those names are wrapped Bitcoin, wrapped Ethereum, USDT, USDC, wrapped Kaspa, and then Kasp. And I'm not sure why this one is not available, but nonetheless, this is basically telling us that they're preparing for the possibility for wrapped Bitcoin or USDT, USDC stablecoins to be built on the Kaspa network using Kasplex. So Kasplex is not allowing anyone to mint a KRC20 token and it have the ticker symbol being one of these ticker symbols that already exist outside of Kaspa's ecosystem, which could possibly mean that they are really preparing for a long-term future of Kasplex to eventually integrate these types of tokens on Kaspa, which will be very, very good for adoption. Lastly, there was a document that was translated from Chinese into English that had a lot more questions and answers in here that I want to go over. There's a question that who is the founder of Kasplex, and we don't really have actual doxed people. I don't believe. I didn't really dig too deep into this, but you can follow the main developers, which is at 5BB55BB and Chris Kang, which are their handles for Twitter. And then also follow the official Kasplex Twitter. That's where you can kind of be following like the head people behind Kasplex. Another question here says the inscriptions on BTC cause a lot of junk data and nodes. How does your protocol solve this problem? To what extent does it reduce such junk data? And the head of Kasplex says that's a great question. When we start designing the protocol, including during our research, we focus on this issue first. So why do BTC inscriptions cause UTXO bloating? Because BTC's UTXOs are tied to inscription assets, and those UTXOs have to be left untouched. Using them means they're gone or transferred. We do not adopt the scheme. This is to say our UTXOs can be merged and used at any times without affecting any of your inscription assets at all. You could say our protocol completely avoids causing UTX dust or bloating. And this is huge because this is the biggest concern when it comes to creating these tokens on Kaspa. Would it harm the network? Would the network be able to handle it? Or would it cause a lot of bloat and then cause issue for nodes because the storage requirements would just become way too high? But Kasplex is claiming here that this will not be an issue at all. Another thing that was pointed out here was actually only after 10 BPS goes online can the full features or the power of Kasplex protocol truly be unleashed, because in my view, the current 300 transactions per second limit of Go nodes is not quite sufficient. And this is a huge statement because that just means that Kasplex is expecting a way higher volume than what Kaspa is actually currently able to handle, which right now can only handle about 300 transactions per second. So they're really anticipating 10 BPS to come out because this will allow for 3,000 transactions per second, which then they say can actually unleash the full features and the power of Kasplex. Moving over here, there's just more questions about 10 BPS. It says, before we see new questions, I'm quite interested to discuss with you too. When do you think 10 BPS could be launched? And this is just one of the moderators that asked this question to the Kasplex devs, and Dr. Jason here, which is just one of the people that were in that space, said that they estimate about 2 to 3 months. Now, obviously, this is not confirmed that for sure this will be happening. I've been seeing people throw around different types of time ranges, like a year or even 10 months or something like that. But Dr. Jason says here that 10 BPS may come in 2 to 3 months. And they said the recently released Rust 0.14 version update primarily deals with 1 BPS mainnet. Full deployment of Rust nodes on the mainnet should happen within a month. So this is them saying that all nodes should move over to Rust within a month, and it's probably been a little bit more than that, and all the nodes have still not moved over yet. Over here says, right, Rust itself should be implemented within about a month. The 10 BPS test has been running for a long time, but because it involves a consensus change, optimistically, it could also take about 2 to 3 months. I like to add that Kasplex protocol will be compatible with both Go version, Rust version nodes. However, we will not maintain the Go version nodes going forward. We will mainly consider Rust nodes. I wanted to specifically mention this as the Go version nodes are about to be phased out. Then over here, another thing I want to point out here is let's briefly summarize what 5BB discussed. Since the first teaser on Twitter last December, by early May, we are close to seeing the first asset issuance standard from Kaspa. There have been community complaints about slow development, but there's no need to worry. Kaspa's key task is to polish the base layer, and the ecosystem projects will pick up speed very quickly. I hope Kaspa holders can be a little bit more patient. So this is from one of the moderators that was in that space, just telling Kaspa holders to be patient because things are coming and adoption may happen much faster. They also go on to say here, right, I've also talked about how Rust is essentially a complete overhaul of Kaspa infrastructure, which is a huge undertaking. If you look at Rust source code, you'll see there's a lot of work involved. Once the foundation with Rust is solidified, subsequent upgrades like 10 BPS and Dagnite should proceed quite rapidly. To continue here, right after Rust is complete, the theoretic proofs for Dagnite are already done. What remains is converting them into engineering code. The rollout of Dagnite protocol should be faster than many expect. So we're just getting some kind of insight of what they believe the future integrations that Kaspa will have of Dagnite and 10 BPS. We're kind of getting a timeline of where they think these things will come onto Kaspa. And I have been speculating that there's a possibility that I feel 10 blocks per second and Dagnite may come at the same time. Because 10 blocks per second involves a hard fork, it is extremely important that with every hard fork, you try to fit in as much things as possible because you don't want to continuously keep hard forking a network too many times. And I'm kind of speculating that 10 BPS and Dagnite may come at the same time. And then this also leads me to speculate that this may not come out till towards the end of the year so that these can come together and we can prevent having to hard fork to 10 BPS and then hard fork again to Dagnite. So I don't know, in my opinion, I think this would be the smartest option, is to just do one hard fork and have 10 BPS and Dagnite come together. But this is just my speculations, and of course nothing here is confirmed. There's a lot more things in this article, but I don't want to make this video get too long. So I hope you guys did enjoy this. Click the links down below. I have links to everything I discussed on this video down below, so you can kind of do your own research, but I did want to highlight the main important things of the Kasplex protocol that's going to be coming on the Kaspa network. It's already in beta, and next month we're going to see it officially released. So this is really, really good for future adoption of Kaspa. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new around here. And as always, don't be average, be different.